So I'm Dr. Natasha Layton. I'm an occupational therapist and I'm from Swinburne University. And I'm talking today about funding for aids and equipment or assistive technology. Often people can just go to the shops and buy what it is they need. You might have bought yourself built-up grip for the spoon, a wheelie walker. You might buy yourself different ways of handling, carrying goods, transporting things, and that's all fine. A lot of assistive technology though is quite expensive, and the government sees that it's a really good investment to purchase that for people so that they can keep leading the lives of their choosing. We know that people who live with disability, and people with polio are no exception, live with higher costs of disability. It costs more to look after yourself and a thinner margin of health. So if more things go wrong, and it's difficult to maintain your health and wellness, and expenditure is a big part of that. In Australia, we have a range of funding options. Some of them are at a national level, some of them are at a state or territory level, and some of them are local options. And it's a bit of a maze finding your way through that, which is why it's really good to have a group like Polio Australia to refer to, or your peers, to find out how it is they got items funded. Nationally, if you are over 65, there are the Commonwealth aged care reforms underway, and that means that aged care funding will provide out of your package of care some dollars towards purchasing assistive technologies, aids and equipment. So we certainly know people are using that money for repairs on their prostheses. They might be purchasing things like wheelchairs or scooters with that money, and also it could contribute to home modifications, putting in ramps and rails and things like that. If you are under 65, nationally we have the National Disability Insurance Scheme. Now that's a new scheme and it's still being rolled out. And that scheme, you're eligible for that scheme if you're an Australian citizen who has permanent or significant disability in 2 or more life areas. So if you've just broken an arm and you're going to get better, you're not a National Disability Insurance Scheme participant. If you're living with a little bit of difficulty but you're able to get on and do things, then the NDIS is unlikely to have you as a participant, although some of its activities will be trying to bolster your health so you don't enter the scheme, that you stay well. The National Disability Insurance Scheme, if you do find you eligible, and a number of polio survivors under 65 are now on the NDIS, what it offers you is a package of supports in order to live the life of your choosing, to meet your goals and aspirations. So you might go into that scheme and say, look, I actually want to stay as mobile as possible, and that means I'd like a review of my wheelchair, and I'd like some support at home so that I can spend the time doing the things I want to, get back to a few hours of work, look after my grandchildren instead of doing the shopping and the washing, things like that. And people are certainly getting assistive technology through those packages. Otherwise, every state or territory has an aids and equipment program of some sort. Here in Victoria we have SWEP, the statewide equipment program. In Queensland it's MASS, the Medical Aids Subsidy Scheme, and there's one in every state. And that offers a subsidy rate, so you will get some money towards a piece of assistive technology that might be on their list. They have finite lists of what they provide. And usually it's a subsidy rather than the full amount. So for example, in Victoria, if you need a power wheelchair, you're likely to get maybe $6,000 or $8,000 towards that, but the chair might cost $15,000 to $35,000. And there can be a bit of a wait time associated with that as well. Because it is so complex, groups like Polio Australia are very helpful at navigating those systems, and also do quite a lot of advocacy work to say, look, people are ageing with their disabilities and ageing into disability. People don't just need one piece of equipment at a time, they might also need some support work, some home modifications and other things. Be really sensible for the funders to provide all those things at the same time in relation to each other, so you get a really good solution that works for you. Back to the Polio Australia website to look for those links.